Why are you silencing my video?
Today we're speedrunning FNAF Secret of the Mimic, and this is actually a really cool speedrun. Now
Credits to Easy Peasy. Let's speedrun fnap Secret of the Mimic. That's the title. Changing colors here. Like, subscribe, and share this video.
start our timer as soon as we can move, and right away we want to grab this data diver, which is going to allow us to access the building we're trying to get into. You can also hear the dispatch talking in the background. I don't really care what they have to say, but as soon as we're able to open our van door, we'll do...
I just wasted 90% of my life
Uy,
reacting
huwag mo siyang
to...
guluhin kung live ba yan?
Ano, record. %90 of my life just to realize that. It's audioless. So I added 5% of it because this is also audioless, but I immediately stopped it to check.
And actually try to get into this building. So in this game, we're a guy named Arnold, and we work for Fazbear Entertainment, and they go and instruct us to get some technology from someone's workshop.
So
now, the
now
very first thing we're going to want to do is come
You know what?
right
I'm
over
gonna
here.
play
We're gonna
back
open up
speed this
door, and then we're just going to run through all this
times.
random stuff that's in the parking lot. Not sure why nobody ever cleaned this up, but we can crouch down here, and yeah, it's pretty much just teaching us basic game mechanics. Eventually, though, we'll make it on top of this stuff. It's going to be this gate. We can just crouch down there, and we finally made it over to the building. A nice and convenient entrance. Also, now we have to stay here for a while. Finally, though, the door is going to open. Oh, and then we have another spot where we have to sit, because now we have to watch an entire performance. But as soon as that's over, they're going to say it's time to open the door, and we can actually play the game. So right away, we're going to want to move the octopus over so we can get through there, and we're going to use our data diver to open this door. You'll see we only have the first permissions on the data diver, so we can't open every door, and that means we need to collect all the other
Wait,
ones.
they have
If
names?
we're trying to stop in this building, we're not going to worry about it. Instead, we're heading over to this generator where we have to hold a couple of times until that door is able to open, and then we'll use our data diver to access this first area. This is a little mini game you get where you have to operate your security permissions, and it's very simple. All you have to do is change all the zeros on this track over to 1. This is obviously going to be the easiest one, so we'll just do the middle track first. Then we go ahead and take the high track, and we're going to go. By the way, the entire time, dispatch is trying to talk to us, but you actually don't have to speak with them. We can just ignore them because you already know where to go. So yeah, I'm just going to say see you later. And now it's time to turn on the power for the building. We need this higher security clearance to actually do this, so we can just go run through all these different animatronics and open up this door for new security permissions. Now, this is one of the mini games that this game has, where basically what we have to do is figure out a way to get this yellow liquid to go through, and that was actually an extremely good pattern. Like, we got very lucky with that, so all I'm going to do is make sure that it's able to go through, and sometimes if you leave too fast, the power's not going to turn on, but as soon as that's done, everything is going to turn on, and dispatch is talking to us yet again. So this time, unfortunately, we actually will pick up this call, but as soon as we pick it up, we're leaving. Yeah, I do not feel like talking to this guy for very long, so we're running straight back over, and this is because normally you would have to listen to dispatch talk for way too long, and nobody has time for that. So instead, we can do a tiny trick where we're going to come over to this room, enter it, allow that door to close behind us, and go back to the office. And you'll see by doing this, now that we enter the office, we can actually go into these items and get our tool, which is going to be this crane. Normally, you would have to wait there a little bit longer because dispatch is still talking. He really likes talking, but we can finally take this crane, and we're going to get our first look at the mimic in a second as he's going to jump scare us. But first, we have to open up this gate. There he goes, and we're just going to go directly behind him, crouch down there, and yeah, it's that easy to ignore him. A lot faster than you would normally play that. And now we're into this section of the building.
Okay,
What we want to do
going
is go
there.
back to the right. Eventually, we can see that there's going to be an elevator over here, so we can press this button. And dispatch is still talking to us like I care about what they're saying. They're a weird person. I don't
Wait.
know. But finally, after the elevator is done, it's time to upgrade our security permissions.
It's
So we can go
already
into this door. It's going to be
fixed?
another one of these offices, and it's the same kind of minigame. This time, we have to get our repair permissions. So what I'm going to do is actually line this a bit easier for myself. So I'll have all those guys done. That way, we can just leave our arrow on the high track, and we can go. Gotta love how slowly this triangle moves, though. It really likes doing that. Okay, we got some more security permissions. We're able to access more areas, so we're going to go. And it's time for Jackie, our very first boss. So we're going to come into this area. There's going to be another jump scare coming up. All I have to do is wind this crane a few times. Here comes Jackie telling us time to play, but I don't really care because I stole the crane. And now
Time
so
to
we're gonna bring it
play
up.
or
So we
no,
again.
time
So
to
it's time
die.
break that and then go through here. Where there's going to be another one of these offices. And what we're going to do for this one is come over to this generator in the phone a couple of times. And then after that is done, Jackie's going to start coming over towards us with her arms, telling us happy
You don't
birthday. I don't
like
think it's my birthday. I don't think I want you to
to
be here for my birthday. And yeah, Jackie's just terrifyingly looking at us, breaking free of our constraints, so now she can't be stopped by anything. And telling us it's time to play. All right, Jackie, I mean, we might as well. But then she goes, destroys that robot. Not sure why she had to do that. But she's going to open up a new area for us so we can escape. Keep saying it's fun, fun, fun. I don't even know what she's doing up there, but we're going to fall. And that's the first part of Jackie, but we still have to escape. You can see she's saying, let's have fun. And she's also looking a lot more evil at this point, but we don't have to worry about her actually attacking us right now. All she's doing is looking medicine. So we're just going to run through this entire area until finally we can go over to this lever. We can push that up. Jackie finds us, but I'm not too worried about it. And we can come straight over to this lift where we're just going to pull the lever. And meanwhile, while we have to wait for this lift to very slowly go up, Jackie's going to peer her head out, look straight at us. And yeah, we just have to wait. This game really likes making you wait as your enemies are just staring into your soul. But we're going to keep running. Jackie keeps getting close to us, but she's never able to actually capture us. Like, she's right there, gets her hand right by us, and she could have grabbed us, but she's also not very good at this game. In this case, it's kind of fun because every once in a while, her arms will come straight towards you, even past you, but she's still not able to capture us. We just keep running. Finally, though, we get over to this section where all we have to do is hit a couple of levers. There's going to be that one right by the door. There's going to be this one, which is a little bit farther away, and there will be this last one, which is straight over here, so we can go through. That puts us into one of these vent sections, and as soon as we make it out of there, we have to run straight forward. But unfortunately, Jackie's going to come down, so we will move down that lever just to make sure she can't capture us. It's time for another one of these generators where we're just going to pull it a bunch of times, and of course, more vents. Where this time around, as soon as we make it over here, we're actually going to fall, which is unlucky, but we can make it into another vent. And as soon as we make it to this spot, Jackie comes out, starts trying to attack us. I don't even know what we can do in this situation. She falls and dies. Yeah, Jackie almost had her where she wanted us, but somehow we respawn back here. Not sure how that happened. Dispatch is now trying to talk to us yet again, but we're going to ignore them again. And instead, we're heading over back towards this one stage play area, you know, where we started the game. Dispatch, I am not hearing you, and I'm not picking up. You gotta get over it. But we can enter through this door, and there's going to be these controls over here, where what we have to do for this is reset the animatronics. And normally you would have to listen to the entire play over again. All we can do is come over here, wait until we stop hearing the music, and then go back. And that skips the entire play for us, so it saves us like literally a minute and a half. Now we can use our data diver one more time to enter this new area. And normally in this area, the mimic would try to be attacking you the entire time. But thankfully, since we can go so fast, we don't have to worry about him. We're just going to use this code of 0158, which is always always going to be the exact same code and grab this desk. Then we gotta head through here, and yeah, I don't know if the mimic can ever spawn when you're going this fast, but I've never seen him when I do this. So that is very nice. We can go through that door, and there's gonna be this elevator which we have to repair. So first of all, we're gonna move the power down. We're gonna take this elephant head out, which excuse me, elephant head. I was trying to get you. We're gonna go to the manual override and twist it for a while, and then we'll also open the hatch. Then we gotta put on the emergency brake and balance all of these things, which you just kind of move this up. Well, once we're done with that, we have to pay attention to the order of these things. So we can see that this one's gonna be 2, 4, 3, 1. Now Fiona on the phone is gonna tell us to go 1, 3, 2, and then 4. So we just gotta do that. Also, don't mind me stepping above. I don't really know what's happening with that. This is a weird game. But after that, we can then take off the emergency brake. We can close the hatch, and we're gonna move the manual override. Now what we have to do is turn the power back on and we fix the elevator. So at this point, we gotta open up this door one more time, go through this elevator. Thankfully, the mimic again just isn't gonna come out, and that was pretty easy. Now once that elevator ride is over, it's time for the game section. You can see over here it's the big top showroom, and there's a lot of stuff to do here. But first of all, we have to turn on some more electricity. So we got another one of these puzzles. For this one, I always like starting from the back, just because I feel like it's a bit more consistent. Also, these puzzles sometimes are very annoying to control. The controls in general in this game are kind of weird. I mean, you do get used to them, but they're strange. Finally, though, we can move that X guy. That should be good. And all we have to do is move that, and that should be power up. So a bit later, Mr. Helpful is gonna wake up. He gives us a ticket thing that we can open up. We get this ticket, and we give this ticket to this random hand just standing there. So that's fun. But now it's time for the minigame section. Well, what we want to do for this is hit all these targets that we can. We only have to get a score of 25, so it doesn't really matter how we play. But, you know, I'm trying to play well if I can. Still not the most interesting minigame, so we'll skip to the end. Then as soon as that is over, Mr. Helpful tells us we're a winner, and we get a free spin on the prize wheel. But as soon as this door opens back up, you'll see that the music man in the middle of the stage is now moving his head around and trying to murder us basically. So what I'm gonna do is make sure I don't hit any of these mannequins because then they would talk. And as long as we get through there nice and easy, we're gonna go and we can turn the power back on. So just another one of these puzzles, pretty simple. Nice and easy solution where all we have to do is that. And if we look over, we can see that music man is slowly moving towards us, but he cannot go nearly fast enough. So now it's time for the exact same minigame. Yeah, they decided to do 2 of these shooting minigames. Not sure why, but again, not too much to say. At least this time around, there's some really cool tech where all we can do is run out of the door as soon as possible. And for some reason, music man just isn't able to catch us. I think like glitches out or something. I really don't know why that works, but I'll take it. Makes me go faster. That will also be successful minigame number 2. And now for number 3, they actually have something a little different. And this is also the only minigame that you can speed up. What we want to do is hit multiple of these teeth at the same time. So I'm trying to aim in a certain area where we can do that. It's a little bit hard on this first one, but there was actually going to be a hit for 2. I'll aim in the middle of that. Only gets 1 that time. Hey, yeah, not the worst start, especially for the first set. The second set though is actually a bit easier to hit them. We can go, got 3 right there. That was a great throw. We'll try to aim in the middle. That's a number 2. And yeah, you kind of get the idea behind this. Oh, that was 4 at the same time. That was crazy. And then 3. Geez, so we save a lot of time by doing that because as soon as you get rid of all the teeth, it'll then finish up that part. But yeah, same idea as last time where we just don't want to get captured by this dude. So I'm gonna go over here, run towards this locker. You'll see he's now looking at my place because I started running. So we will wait him out. Then we just gotta calmly walk over to the end. We make it to this spot and we can run again and complete yet another one of these electricity things. So finally, we're actually done with that. It was very long. And now we get to see the prize. We basically kind of do all those mini games because you need all 3 of your spins. You'll see we get grand prize. Everything's gonna turn off and we can continue on our way. But now music man is also gone. Now at this point, what you would want to do is find the code based on these different hats. Well, we actually have a cheat sheet we can use because the hats never change. The code will change, but what number the hats correlate with doesn't change. So I can just use my cheat sheet, know that that's gonna be the answer, and continue on our way. Which means it is time yet again for another one of these data diver upgrade sections. And what we'll want to do is first of all clear a path for ourselves. So I will allow that go to 0, we can then go up, and we can move that down just to make it a bit easier. Then we just have to hit the remaining zeros. And yeah, these puzzles are never too difficult. So we're officially creator now.
Oh, don't hit all
right here,
those.
head over to the roof access.
Don't know that.
Creator, specifically we need roof access.
Now
But
this
it's fine. We can
now this part is I don't know.
open these doors, see that it's a nice snowy day. Probably contemplate leaving because that would be a much better decision. And as soon as we make it over here, there's gonna be this button, but then Music Man is gonna come out, just jumping on all these things coming down to us, and this guy's terrifying. Well, what we're gonna want to do is run straight over here and use our data diver. That's gonna load a new area where now Music Man is just trying to attack us from the ceiling, which is kind of insane. And what we're gonna want to do is go down here, save a little bit of time doing that, and now his feet are gonna come down and close down some of the paths for us. You can see he closes down those paths, and we just have to keep making our way. And this was a pretty good Music Man, all things considered. Sometimes you can get much worse RNG, so I'll take that. But now he's gonna keep doing that, and that's how we're gonna find where we need to go. So we'll have to see what directions Big Top is going to go. I realize, by the way, I've been calling him Music Man this entire time, but his name is clearly Big Top. My bad about that. And we can make it out this other side, just dodging all those different hands. Now there's gonna be all these mannequins and stuff. And as soon as we make it to this section, he's gonna start moving mannequins down by us, just have his claws going through everywhere. And yeah, this dude is very relentless. But as soon as we make it over to the staircase, we'll see that Big Top comes down. He's gonna be like, hey, can I please have a kiss? So of course we'll give him one right on the nose, and then we both fall to our deaths. Well, at least Big Top dies, but we're fine. And now Dispatch.
Why do they even want to
really not
chase
sure how we
us?
survived that fall. We're kind of crazy, but we're back in the same area. Dispatch is trying to talk to us, but like usual, I don't really care what he has to say. Instead, we're heading into this area, and we're going over to the workshop since we're a creator now. And this is going to be one of the most stressful parts of the entire run, which you'll see in just a second. First, we go into this area, and we'll select Start Assembly, which will move this body part over to where it needs to be. Now we have to find 5 different body parts for this animatronic while the mimic is trying to kill us the entire time. So you can just get incredibly unlucky. But what I'm going to go for very first is getting the head down there. The head is the hardest thing out of everything just because it's so high up, and you have to do 2 things to actually get it. So I'm just trying to see where the mimic is right now, and I have no idea if I'm going to be honest. So
No, I don't
we'll
know.
this one as well, and we just got to keep track of if the mimic is somewhere. So I'm going to come over here, and the thing is, we have not gotten a save point yet, which I really do want since we've opened a couple of doors. So what we're gonna do is try to take this head somewhere. So I'm gonna come over here, and you have to do 2 things to actually get it. So I'm just trying to see where the mimic is right now, and I have no idea if I'm gonna be honest. So we'll open that door. We can open this one as well, and we just gotta keep track of it. And I care what he has to say. Instead, we're heading into this area, and we're going over to If that fall, we're kind of crazy. But we're back in the same area. Dispatch is trying to talk to us, but like usual, I don't really care what he has to say. Instead, we're heading into this area. He's gonna be like, hey, can I please have a kiss? So of course, we'll give him one right on the nose, and then we both fall to our
Sino yung
deaths.
nasa iyo sa rin? Tom 1,
Well, at
Tom
least
2.
Big
Tom 1, Tom 2.
Tom
Top
2?
dies, but we're
Yun
fine.
nga.
And now Dispatch.
Tom 2?